It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. Be a good time, gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. Be a good time, gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
The reason some people think, well, I don't know, I remember that economy when he first came in being pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good, because it was my economy.
That was former President Barack Obama in the final days of the Harris campaign, expressing some legitimate frustration that Donald Trump has taken credit for the 75 straight months of job growth that took place before Trump's first term ever began. And now it's about to happen again. Donald Trump is on the verge of once again sweeping in and taking all the credit for the economic stewardship of his Democratic predecessor. To put a finer point on this, take a look at the unemployment rate for the last three presidents. When Barack Obama took office at the height of the financial crisis in January of 2009, the unemployment rate was 7.8%. When Obama left office in January of 2017, the unemployment rate had been cut nearly in half and was just 4.7%. Donald Trump then took credit for a booming job market right up until the country was hit by a global pandemic. And Trump's colossal mismanagement of that crisis caused the unemployment rate to skyrocket once again. When Trump left office, the unemployment rate was back up to 6.4%. Joe Biden then managed to bring unemployment back down to 4.1%, where it sits today, as Donald Trump is set to retake power. It's a similar story with inflation, which spiked after the pandemic all across the globe. President Biden actually positioned the U.S. as a global leader in bringing down inflation, taking it from 9.1% in June of 2022 to just 2.6% today. Republicans taking credit for Democratic economies is not really anything all that new. As my friend and colleague Steve Bannon has pointed out before, over the last 35 years, employers have added roughly 51 million jobs in the United States, and 50 million of them, as in 98%, have been created during Democratic administrations. But Donald Trump's cynicism, self-aggrandizement, and mendacity make him uniquely suited to take credit for someone else's work. In fact, he's already begun.
And we had 3 or 4 of the highest, I guess almost every single day we set new records in the stock market. We set new records economically. We're doing it. Now, the only thing is, Mr. Speaker, I think it's important, maybe you should pass a bill. You have to start my term from November 5th, okay? Or November 6th if you want. November 5th, because the market's gone through the roof.
That was Donald Trump last night saying he wants credit for the stock market even before his term begins. The challenge for Democrats over these next 4 years will be to try and make the American public understand what progress is a direct result of Democratic policies and what destruction and chaos is a direct result of Donald Trump.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John. For some reason, it was hard to find the button. All right, guys. Hopefully you can hear me. If you can hear me, let me know. Give me a big old thumbs up in the chat. Let me know that the volume's coming through. It looks like I got a green light, so I think we're good to go. It's 3:10 p.m. Pacific time zone right here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And it is now currently about 60 degrees. I think we've reached our daytime high of 60 degrees. But thank you guys for being here. It looks like we have Jolie being first in the driver's lounge today. Jolie, mod extraordinaire. Followed by Brooklyn, New York, 471. And the 471, Brooklyn. All right. I missed you too, Brooklyn. And I'm fine. And I ate. Robert Perez, the Trucker John show is like a tall, cool drink. He's refreshing. Boy, I'm going to keep that. That one's a keeper. Left Wing Gorilla's here. Congratulations, Jolie. Let's see. We got Aaron West is here. So now I got both the mod squad. Mod squad's here. Paul Burrows. Good to see Paul in the driver's lounge. Thanks for being here. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share. Share. Brooklyn NY471 says, I have Hal's opening music playing in my head like an earworm. Yikes. Now, speaking of Hal, the reason I put a bunch of question marks in today's title is because I'm not sure if Hal is going to be on it. I haven't heard anything one way or the other. Have you guys heard anything? I've been checking the Discord page with Andrea's page and Hal's page. All I saw was there was a mention about that Johnny Million wasn't on today because he's got a sick cat. So Johnny, I hope your cat gets better. But I haven't heard if Hal's going to be on. I'm assuming he is, but you know what happens when you assume? Make assumey. But I figured we're just going to go on anyhow. We'll hang out. If Hal's on, he's on. If he's not, he's not. And we'll probably see him Saturday, if nothing else. So we'll keep an eye out for Hal to see if he's coming on. There's Jolie, got all those emojis, Trucker John emojis going on there. Brooklyn, New York 471 says, "What a cutie, Trucker John." Thank you very much. Thank you. McNally Michael's here. Hey, McNally Michael. Good to see a new name, a new face. Well, not I can't see the face, but I see a new name. So Thank you. Again, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. The Soulcraft. Hey, greetings, TJ and fellow Earthlings. Hello, Soulcraft. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I do have a goal of Super Chats. I'm trying to get that to see if that will activate my top messages, if that will activate my chat filter. So we'll see how that goes. Anthony Reminiak is here. Hello, Anthony. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for joining us here in the driver's lounge. Ask is here. Hi, everybody. Happy Boxing Day. I know it's like, man, Boxing Day. No, it's either that or has something to Boxing Day. I don't know. It's Boxing Day. I'm being silly. Now. So the Soulcraft says about to cook honey sesame chicken and fried rice, just like Panda Express. Okay, there you go. Making me hungry. Gonna make me hungry again. So yeah, I did a goal. It says 5. Oh, I did not mean to put a color. It says 5 teal. So I guess we're doing the teal ones. Usually I put all colors, so it could just be whatever color you want. Apparently now I didn't see that I made it work. It's only teal. So our goal is a 5 teal super chats. But we'll see how it goes. Let's see, where am I at here? Robert Perez, is everyone enjoying seconds and thirds of your holiday meal? I gotta tell you, the planes are really loud today. I'm glad this microphone really only seems to pick up my voice. Hey, Teresa TAK is here. Good to see Teresa. Thanks for joining us here in the driver's lounge as we hang out. This might be a House Parts pre-show hangout, or it might just be a show of us just hanging out with no pre-shows. Ask says, I just watched the 688 on Netflix yesterday. Beyonce was outstanding. The 688. Yeah, was that like a musical show? I did see her on the yesterday's halftime show at the Houston-Baltimore game in Houston on Netflix. I saw that. It was pretty good. She's pretty good. I think she's really good. But I haven't seen the other one. Josh says, "Woof." Alrighty, Wolf back at you. McNally Michael says Brooklyn 471. Was that? Is that thank you all in, or I don't know. TYS all in bed just watching. Okay, that's cool. That is cool. I'm gonna skip it on down a little bit here. Robert Perez says, I think Trucker John should work for MSNBC as a broadcaster. He's smart and sexy. You guys are funny. Ask audio. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Oh, I guess that was the very, very couple first seconds of the show where it was kind of dead, or it wasn't on. Yeah. Paul Burrows hears me. There's the thumbs up from. See, that's how far behind I am in the chat. Anyhow, Paul Burrows, I'm going to get stoned. Puff puff pass. Well, you do that, Paul. You go get stoned. Do it responsibly. Just like they say, drink responsibly. Get stoned responsibly. Christopher Jones, happy Boxing Day, premium sparklers. Bruce says it's 48 degrees in the old Chi-Town. The Windy City. Let me skip on down a little bit. Scroll down. I'm scrolling. Just doing some scrolling. Anthony Ruminack, hi there, Trucker John. Hi, Anthony. Good to see you. Josh says, 21st Century Suffragettes is live now. Would be cool if you could pair up. I know it's unfortunate, I mean, we do shows. We're always going to be overlapping with somebody, But in fact, I have them on my TV right now. I have them on my TV. I've got the volume all the way down, so as not to interfere with my show. I have the 21st Century Suffragettes playing on my TV, right? I can't really see it because it's kind of facing anyhow, it's over there. But it'd be cool if you could pair up. What do you mean, like have them on my show or something? If I have the capability to do that, I would ask them on. The only thing I can do is through the YouTube app. I could bring one person on, but I have to set that up ahead of time, and I have because I don't usually use the YouTube. I don't usually go live from the YouTube channel. I use another app, and on that app, the Prism app, I can't bring on guests or anything yet. At this point, at some point, maybe they will be able to do that, but as of now, I can't. But yeah, I would love to have someone come on. Liberal Dan could come on. That'd be great. Suffragettes could come on, but only one of them, I guess, because I can only do one person. And it would have to be through the YouTube, like I say, through the YouTube channel. I'd love to have Hal come on, of course. Boston Brian, anybody. Hey, open invitation. Open invitation. Whoever wants to come on the show, let me know ahead of time so we can set it up and we'll do it. That'd be fun. Big Hook, the big Canuck is here. Big Hook says, Walter Matthau, never assume you make an ass out of you and me. No, that's my joke. I know what the saying is. You make an ass out of you and me. I know that. But my joke, I guess it's not really a good joke if you got to explain the joke. My joke is that you don't say you and me. You just say assume me. You know what happens when you assume? You assume me. That's a joke. It's my little joke. It's my little sick sense of humor. Or at least my unfunny sense of humor. I don't know. Paul Burrows says, I'm having whipped potatoes with brie cheese and Elf gravy. Oh my. Anthony, remember the angry NFL football is in misty Camp Chicago tonight. Yes, playing the Seahawks. Where's MJ Daniel? MJ Daniel, big Seahawks fan. So what I'm about to say just might not sit well with MJ. But tonight, I'm rooting for the Bears because I'm a Rams fan, and my two favorite teams are the Rams and then whoever's playing my rivals of my division, which are, Seattle, San Francisco. San Francisco's been eliminated. Thank you very much. So I got to root for the Bears tonight. Come on, go Bears. Sorry, MJ. Sorry, not sorry? Sorry, not sorry? I don't know. Aaron West with is this teal? I don't know, but because my goal thing, it's not showing. So I don't know. Is that a super sticker? Maybe that's because there's a difference between, I guess, super sticker and super chat. Wait, what is it? Super sticker, super chat. But I think that's a super chat, what you did. So I don't know why it's not showing. Because on the goal, it says 0 out of 5 still. I don't know, but thank you, Aaron. Yippee. You get a yippee. I said you get a yippee. But I don't see my chat filter coming on. It's weird. Last time somebody did one on the last show and it came on. But they did a $5 one. So anyhow. Josh says, but thank you, Aaron. I appreciate it. Thanks for that support of the show. Josh says, Jolie cracks me up. My phone automatically suggests a fountain when I type your name. That's funny. James Williams, good evening, everyone. Good evening to James. Good evening. Good evening. I don't know why. Why do I say that? Why do I say it like that? Why do I use that little funny voice? I don't know. No one knows. Not even me. Oh, good evening. I don't know why. Why do I say it that way? There's no rhyme or reason. Floyd Price is here. Got blue hearts. Iowa in the house. Blue circles and blue hearts and Ukraine flags. Slava Ukraini, my friend. Slava Ukraini. Ask says 6888 tells the inspiring true story of the incredible and brave women of the first and only Women's Army Corps unit of color to be stationed overseas in World War II. I did see a little trailer on that. I know what you're talking about now, I ask. Yeah, that looked really good. Is she in it or did she just produce it? Is Beyonce in it? Does she act? I don't know if I've ever seen her act. Or is she just like probably producing it or something, I guess. Which is cool. You know, that's not a slight. Ass says it's an outstanding movie. Well, hey, I'll have to put that on my list. Maybe I'll get to it in 10 years. I'm just now finishing up or about halfway through Blacklist. I'm in season 5 of Blacklist, so I'll put that on my watch list, but it might be a while before I get to it. The Soulcraft says, saw this documentary about the KC Chief Superman becoming a bank robber to fund his following the team in betting and streaming much money. I think I saw that too a while ago, or parts of it. It was pretty interesting. Tamara Price is here. Hey, Tamara, good to see you. Thanks for dropping on into the old driver's lounge. Today we're at a nice, cozy, warm, very Christmassy cabin. Jolie says, speaking of turtle toes, Big Hook, have you seen Franklin's Christmas video? Turtle toes on full display. I saw it, Jolie, and it was just Franklin just being the cutest little turtle I've ever seen in my life. Got his tank all decorated for Christmas. Melissa Brzezinski's here. Hey, Melissa. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming on back. Are those fingers crossed? Is that what that is? Are we keeping our fingers crossed that Hal's going to be on? I can't just do that. I had to secretly down here, like, use my other hand to get my fingers to do the cross finger thing. But anyhow, yeah, I don't know if Hal's coming on. I still don't know, but we'll play it by ear. We'll see. The Soulcraft says he was known as Chiefaholic and always wore a wolf costume to games. I think I saw some sort of documentary on that or something. Yeah, I don't remember seeing like a full length, feature length one, but I saw something. Josh says, agreed, Bruce. Did I? Oh, there's Bruce. Everybody must get stoned. Speaking of that, that new Bob Dylan movie looks really good. I haven't seen it. I should go call up an Uber or a Lyft. Now I might be using Lyft now. And I should go see that movie because it looks pretty good. What's his name? Timothy Chalamet or Chalamet? Whatever his name is. It looks good. Let's see here. I'm going to scroll on down. So here it is. The Cramps Band fan. Hi, this is Penny from the Midwest. Hi, Penny from the Midwest. Thank you so much for that $2. I believe that's a super chat. But for some reason, see, this is how screwed up YouTube is, at least for me, on my devices. YouTube is totally screwed up. I can't get a chat filter. I can't get the goal to say that the goal is being achieved. So I'm a little mad at YouTube right now, or my device. I don't know if I should be mad at YouTube or to my devices because I don't know. It's really weird. But thank you so much. the Cramps band fan, for that $2 super chat. Thank you so much for supporting the show and helping us along. I always appreciate it. You know, never. There's this other guy, this other YouTuber. What's he say? How he says, always appreciated, but never necessary, or never mandatory, or never, whatever he says. But the gist is, thank you so much. I appreciate the support, but you can, people can also support just by sharing, liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. And the monetary support's always great too. So thank you so much. Deeply, deeply appreciated from my heart. Here's my heart over here, right here. Brooklyn says, haha, Robert, that's hot, hot, hot. James Williams, better than 20 degrees. Yeah, it's nice here. It's 60. Gee, that's balmy, and that's not even like a joke. Mindy Nitrous is here. Christopher Jones says, love the holiday backdrop. Well, thank you. I worked on that. I've been decorating my little butt off. Look at there. I got 2 trees, it looks like, in the house here. Look at that. McNally Michael, fireplace is awesome. Laughing out loud, my joke. Yeah, look at that. Look at the roaring flames. And they never stop. They never end. I never have to put more firewood in. And it's not gas. That's magic. It's magic. Brooklyn NYA 471, haven't seen Bob Dylan yet. Yeah, I think it's called it's taken off of one of his songs. Someone in the chat will give us the title. What's it called? I can't remember the name of it, but it's a lyric from one of his biggest songs, probably. Carolyn Phelps, did Santa bring a new microphone? No, Santa did not. That rascal. No. This one seems to be working fine. I'm kind of hesitant for Santa to bring me stuff because I really there's so much I need to do to set this room up the way I want it before I start getting other equipment, or there's certain things I need to get first, I think. So then I'll know what kind of mic I really do want to invest in, or I want Santa to invest in. Chris Duck, I remember the Cramps. That sounds familiar. I'm sure they had a hit. The Cramps. That I would know. WW says, haven't been to a movie since before COVID. Well, that's on you, bud. You can go to the movies now. Enlightened Angel says, hello, Trucker John. Hello, Enlightened Angel. How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us while we hang out. Jenny G says, hey, I hope you have all had a great Xmas. I've been taking a break from American politics in disgust at Trump being elected. I think a lot of us have. A lot of us have been taking a break, and that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. Take a break, recharge your batteries, do what you need to do. Because if you're here, I don't know, Jenny G, exactly where you're at, but if you're here, living here in America, we're going to need you, and we're going to need to have everyone be at full strength. So get your rest now, and then be ready to go at it. January 20th. McNally Michael, go Bear. Go Bear, go! I'm just thinking of that. Stephanie Miller plays that all the time. The lady who had a bear in her house or something. I think it was a bear, right? She's like, get out of here, Bear! Maybe not just go Canes. Bruce, I'm going to a bar to watch the game. Oh, there you go. That's a fun way to watch a game. Robert Perez, I'm a fan of Madness, the band. Madness. Mindy Nitrous, Rangers been sucking. I'm not really into hockey. Mindy Nitro says Bruins not so bad. I haven't even been following it, to tell the truth. I don't even know how the Golden Knights are doing this year. I have not followed hockey at all. Steve Sayre says, any Chiefs fans in the chat? Well, the Chiefs won again. There they are. What, they 15-1 now? They handled Pittsburgh pretty good. You know, there was a couple times early on where it looked like Pittsburgh was going to get the momentum back, and then they either shot themselves in the foot or that KC defense kind of stepped up, got some big takeaways. So, and then from there, after that, the KC just kept rolling along, and here they go on their way to another at least Super Bowl appearance. I don't know if they're going to win or not, especially if they play the Rams. They're definitely not going to win, but we'll see. They're looking good, though. Hello, Melissa Brzezinski. Josh says, I only like bocce for sports ball. Bocce ball. Is that the thing? Is that like a little? I don't know. I'm not sure. JD Christie, seriously, hey, Joey, happiest of happy holidays. Hello, JD Christie, good to see you. Alvin Stube is here. KC Chiefs gonna win another Super Bowl. Well, they're looking good. I'm just gonna say that they're looking good. You know, we'll see. We'll see if Buffalo has anything to say about that, or the Rams if they meet the Rams in the Super Bowl. Yes. I'm gonna keep saying the Rams in the Super Bowl until it can't be. Mini Nitro's having a bowl. It's 420 somewhere. Right. Exactly. My sentiment is exactly. McNally Michael says, Trucker John, great fans. Chat. Thanks. You are welcome. Stephen Sayre, Chiefs for president. That would be an improvement. Just about anything would be an improvement over who we're getting. My left foot would be better than what's coming in January. Josh, Washi, darts, bowling, those are my preferred sports. And those are fun games, fun pastimes. No doubt. No doubt about it. Ass says the movie was separate from Beyonce halftime. Both were outstanding. Yeah, I know that. Now that I know what you were talking about, I know it's different. Yeah. Jolie reminds everyone, please like, subscribe, share. Thank you very much, Jolie. Carolyn Phelps, you are what is it? Person after my own heart or something? We bought Sonic Drive-In for supper. Love the Route 44 Cherry Limeade. That's my drink. That's my Sonic drink, Route 44 Cherry Limeade. That's my go-to whenever I go to there. Hey, Vicky, sup? Sup, Vicky? Sup with you, Vicky? Yakety Smack, Don't Talk Back is in the house. In the driver's lounge. Good to see Yakety Smack. Thanks for hanging with us as we just hang. We just hang precariously. Asks us that Tyler Perry made the movie. Okay, so he directed. What is Beyonce's role in that movie? Is she acting? Is she starring? Is she just producing? Tyler Perry, by made the movie, that could mean that he directed, that could mean he produced, that could mean he directed and produced. Big Hook. The agency is so good. 5 episodes in. Michael Fassbender is superb. I like Michael Fassbender, even though I can't say his name. I did see the little trailers on that, and it did look good. I might put that on my list. One of my lists. I'm not sure. Is that on Netflix or is that on one of the other ones? And wherever it's being shown, it will go on one of my lists, and I'll get to it when I get to it. Like I said, it might be 10 years down the road, but by golly, I'm going to get to it. And there's a link to Jolie's Franklin Turtles Christmas video. I urge you to check that out, and you will be delighted. You're going to walk away going, I didn't know turtles could be so cute. And that's what you're going to say. I bet you. Floyd Price says, I used to be a Browns fan until they fuck Baker. They fucked him? Now I'm a Bakers fan, wherever he may be. He's down in Tampa Bay, right? We're talking about Baker Mayfield, I think, right? Doing very well down there. Probably be in the playoffs, I guess. Big Hood. Beyonce was in Austin Powers 3. Oh. I'm trying to remember that. It's been so long. Brooklyn, New York, why Lyft and not Uber? Because I'm mad at Uber. Because they've basically locked me out of the app for over a month now, the driver app. I mean, I can still book rides as a passenger, but I can't work for Uber now because they're fucked up and stupid and idiotic. They're morons. Does that answer your question? Anyhow, McNally and Michael says, House Sparks been a few days being live. Heck yeah, I miss. Well, yeah, he's been doing, it's holidays. He's been out doing the family stuff. But I wasn't sure if I had heard one way or the other if he was going to be out tonight. And so far, I have not heard one way or the other. So if anybody sees any notifications or anything about Hal going on, let me know, because I've been trying. I've been asking, and so far no one has let me know. Dang, my upstairs neighbors are so fucking. They're like, I don't know, very clunky when they walk. They walk very clunkily. Like they're marching or something. I don't know. And sometimes it sounds like they're bowling or dropping, like they're doing, weightlifting and they're throwing the weights down. That's what it sounds like. Yakety Smack says Midwest is the best. Edited Jim Morrison line. Carolyn Phelps says it's good that House Sparks is taking some time off with his family in Kentucky, though even if we miss him, even though we miss him. Yeah, we miss him, but yeah, I mean, yeah, everyone deserves time off, especially for Christmas. Floyd Price says, I found out that if you have favorite players instead of favorite teams, it's a lot more fun to watch football. I don't think so. Maybe for you, but not for me. I've been a Rams fan since 1960s. I've been a Dodgers fan since the 60s. I stick with my team. I don't like this switching from team to team. And if you're doing it because you just have favorite players, that's fine. What I don't like are the fair weather friends, where as soon as their team starts losing, then they just go to whoever the next big team is. It's like KC. I'm sure there's lots of diehard KC fans that have been watching the Chiefs forever, and now they've got a really great run and have a great coach and a great quarterback, and a great team, and they're winning the Super Bowls, and that's great. But I wonder how many new fans they have that just now all of a sudden we're like, hey, I'm going to be a fan of them because they're good. That's the kind of thing that bugs me. And then as soon as KC falls out, eventually when Mahomes is going to get old and retire, and Andy Reid's going to retire, and the team's going to be on a downward spiral or whatever, they're not going to be as good. Then those fair weather fans, the diehards will always be there. The diehards, like I'm a diehard Rams fan, diehard Dodger fan, so I'm always there. But those fair weather friends, those fair weather fans, as soon as KC starts losing, they're gonna go and they're gonna go to the next big team, who the next hot team, and that's the type of people I really can't stand. I'm not saying that that's what you do or you are. Whoever said that, I guess that was Floyd. Floyd. I'm not saying that's what you do. You're saying you have favorite players, and so you just root for your favorite players. I have favorite players. Usually there are players that I really like that were on the Dodgers or on the Rams, and then they get traded to another team, and I still like that player. So if I'm watching one of those games and it has nothing like if whatever team that player's on, let's say that I like, and I'll root for that team as long as it has no implications to affect negatively the Dodgers or the Rams. They always come first. Dodgers, Rams first, always first. Over anything else, over a favorite player, over whatever. Number one. Chris Duck says, I'm still trying to resolve super sticker and chat payment. Still haven't been billed yet, which means payment has not contributed to the show. Well, I don't know, Chris Dog. I really don't know how it works. I really, really don't. That's a YouTube thing. Maybe they're just being slow. Give us some time. I don't know how long you're talking about. Maybe it takes a few days, or maybe it takes them a week or a couple weeks. I really don't know. So just keep an eye on it and see how it goes. If a couple weeks goes by, then there might be some concern or whatever. But I don't know how. That's all handled by YouTube. So I don't know how they do it. James Williams says they take their cut. Boy, oh boy, do they? I think they take at least a third. I forget what it is. I know I read it somewhere. But they're taking their cut. James Williams says, spent my Christmas listening to the President of the United States threatening Canada's sovereignty. What's up with that? I think you're talking about the President-elect, James. I think, right? It wasn't Biden. Biden didn't say that. Robert Perez, I'm surprised that the stockings haven't melted yet. Yeah, look at that. They're hanging in there. They're hanging in there really good. Yeah, it's good, good fire retardant. They're made of fire retardant materials. Let's see. JD Christie, no hits for the Cramps. Well, I mean, there's got to be that name sounds familiar. There's got to be a song that I would recognize, that I would call a hit. Maybe technically it's not a hit, but there's got to be a song that they have that I've heard, and I would call that a hit. It's recognizable. Don't they have a recognizable song? Carolyn Phelps says, during the spring, summer, and fall, we go to the drive-in. We have a drive-in here in Vegas. I really want to go to it. I haven't gone to it. I really want to go to it before they end up closing it down, because you know how almost all the drive-ins in the country have gone out of business. So I have this fear that one day the drive-in here is going to go out of business, and I'm going to go, damn it, I never did go, just to check it out, I need to do that before it goes out of business. Tour God Dog says Bikini Girls with Machine Guns. Was that their song? The Cramps? I don't know. Minnie Nitro says, what has McDumpy said? Anything new? Really laughing out loud? I don't know. Robert Perez says, hey, Trucker John, what do you think about taking over Canada, Mexico, Panama, and now Greenland? What the fuck happened to Xmas Spirit? He's on a rampage, this Trump fellow, the president-elect. He's not the president yet. I think maybe it's just a combination of his senility and maybe increased Adderall consumption. I don't know. There's something definitely fucked up with that guy, even more so than usual. Mark Lungo says the Cramps' best-known song is probably Good Goo Muck, which was featured in an episode of Wednesday. Oh, maybe that's where I heard it. Because I saw Wednesday. Tamara Price says, Chris Doug, when you contribute, Google sends a confirmation email right away. Hopefully they have the correct email. Oh, thank you, Tamara, for that information. Yakety Smack says, went to a fight and a hockey game broke out. Rodney Dangerfield. Ba-da-bum. Yeah, I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out. That says, I know a French bicycle rider who had a grizzly swipe his tent. He spoke to the bear in English. Get out of here, bear. All right, I'm scrolling on down in the chat. If I skip over your chat, A, I'm not on all messages, and B, I just kind of scrolled on down because I'm probably 30 minutes behind in the chat. So. Minnie Nitro says yes, Hal for president. So if I skip you, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. Here's non-useful. I love to play horseshoes. Yeah, horseshoes fun. We used to have horseshoes all the time in our backyard, and it was a good one, especially when you're having a backyard barbecue. You got a couple beers, and you're throwing the horseshoes. You know, yeah, it's a fun time. Fun time. Floyd Price says Matthew Stafford's the GOAT. Well, he's really very good. I don't know if he's the GOAT, but he's very, very, very good. Let's see. Big Hook says Paramount Network. I guess that was for the Michael Fassbender show that we were talking about. I can't remember the name. Yeah, I'll have to put that down on my list. Like I said, I'll get to it in probably about 10 years. But says Beyonce is not in the movie. Not in any way. Sorry for the misunderstanding. Perry did, and Oprah was in the movie. All right. Well, it looked like a good movie. I did see a little trailer on it. It looks very good. I'll put it on my list. The Soulcraft says Michael Fassbender in the movie Frank is hilarious. It's free on YouTube. Oh, nice. That's always nice when you get a free movie. Josh says TJ should get his upstairs neighbors some wooden clogs and attach an amplified metronome to his ceiling. Yeah, that would be lovely. Chris Doug says, diehard Giants fan, and it has been painful for quite some time. Yeah, I know. I feel for these teams. I mean, I've gone through some pretty bad stretches with the Rams where we were just doormats of the league. And some of those stretches have been about 10 years, a couple of different ones where we went about 10 years of being really shitty teams. But some of you guys have gone decades and decades and decades and decades of being the doormats. That's got to be tough. At least with the Rams, we have our moments, Robert Perez, Johnny would you take a bullet for the Rams? No, Robert, I would not. Let's be perfectly clear. I would not take a bullet for the Rams. There's only probably 2 people in the world I would take a bullet for, and that would be my daughter and my son. Anyhow, the Soulcraft says, I grew up on Steelers, so I was not a Cowboys fan, the era of Bradshaw. Well, hey, man, that was a good era to be a Steelers fan. They won 4 Super Bowls in those late 70s. One of those, they beat my Rams when the Rams were in the third quarter. The Rams were leading, right? Wasn't it 19-12 or something like that? And then ended up getting their asses beat like 36-19 or whatever the final score was. It's kind of like it was in the third quarter, Rams were winning, and it was kind of like Bradshaw and Stallworth said, "Here, hold our beers," and they went to town. Robert Perez says, I gave up on sports and I found that I calmed down a lot. Well, I guess it just depends, like how worked up you get. I've seen a lot of people that get way, way, way too worked up about their team losing. I mean, I've seen these videos where someone's watching a game and their team loses, and then they literally kick the TV or break the TV, or they slam their fist through a wall. Okay, that's stupid. That's ridiculous. those type of people have serious issues. Non-useful gifted another membership. Thank you, non-useful. I appreciate that so much. Thanks for that. It helps the show, helps us grow. And it looks like look who got it. 21st Century Suffragettes. That is so cool. And we were just talking about them, and they're playing on my TV as I speak. I'm looking over there. I can't really see, but it looks like Diane, and I think Benny Loco was there, and then the lady in the bottom with like a hoodie or something. I don't know her name, but they're all right there on my TV. And so now they've got a membership. Maybe they'll come over and say hi sometime. That would be awesome. That'd be nice. They could into the chat. I mean, like I said, getting them on the show is a whole different process. But if they want to come to the chat and say hi, that'd be awesome. So thank you, non-useful. That was very nice of you to do that. Chris Doug says, last week and today never got confirmation email, but I authorized payment. Yeah, Chris, like I said, I don't know what the heck is going on. That's YouTube. Like I said, they're so bad that I can't even get a chat filter, and I can't even get this goal to work right. So YouTube has issues. That's for sure. They are not the well-oiled machine that they like to present themselves as. Paula says, can you representative and request 2 tickets for the inauguration and don't show up? 2 tickets are free. Oh, call your representative. Oh, and request 2 tickets for the inaugurations and don't show up. So then there'll be, I guess the idea is that there would be a bunch of empty seats. I have a feeling there's going to be a bunch of empty seats anyhow. Mini Nitro says there was a drive up Rye Street from me and became houses. I guess a drive-in. We were talking about drive-ins, I think. Up the street, and yeah, the drive-ins. Yeah, I mean, back in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. Yeah, all before Blockbuster became a thing and all that. I mean, drive-ins were everywhere. And then slowly, as we went through time, we got more into home rental, like Blockbuster and all that kind of stuff. And then we got into streaming, and that really. So whenever I see a drive-in, I'm always impressed. Like, hey, there's a drive-in, because there's a few around. I mean, you see them around. Like I said, there's one here in Vegas. There's a few down in LA, a couple down there. There's a few across the country. So it's kind of cool. So if you like drive-ins and you think they're cool and they're fun, which I think they are, I prefer probably the nice, big Cineplex type of a deal. But a drive-in is it's like a novelty thing. It's kind of a fun thing, and especially if you got kids, that might be kind of easier. I don't know, but depending on what kind of car you have and how you can see the screen or whatever. But if you want your drive-in to be around, maybe you should try to go see a movie there a few times every year to support it, because they're like a kind of a holdover from the past, I guess, from the pre-streaming and certainly the pre Blockbuster era. Let's see. Honey Bunny for You's here. Hey, Honey Bunny, good to see you. Thanks for being here in the lounge today. Says hello, everybody. Internet is working for a while today. Have major problems. Oh, having problems. Well, that always sucks, doesn't it? But I'm glad you're able to get in here for a bit. Hopefully it'll last and it won't go out again. Robert Perez says, I want to play lawn darts with Trump and Stephen Miller. And then be like, oops. I don't advocate for anything bad. Aaron West, Cowboys, laughing out loud. I really never liked the Cowboys. Like I said, I've always been a Rams fan, but there are some teams that just sort of rub me the wrong way. Cowboys was one of them. I never liked the Raiders, although now that I live here in Vegas and the Raiders here, I have been finding myself watching them and kind of rooting for them. But certainly different than the old Oakland Raiders, and I hated it when they moved to LA. I hated that with a passion. That was Rams territory. They had no right coming down there. And then when the Rams moved to St. Louis, I fucking still was a Rams fan, but I hated George Frontier, the late, not so great George Frontier, who I still think had her husband killed just so she could get the team. and then she moved to St. Louis. So I hate that C word. Yes, I said C word. Anyhow, I'm going off on a rant. Hey, Billy Kid 73 is here. Hello, Billy Kid. Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for being here and hanging out with us. It's 3:57. I don't know. Has anybody heard if Hal's coming on? Let me know in the chat if you guys have seen anything. Rob Saunders is here. I hope everyone had a nice Christmas. Canada, Canada. Never 51. Trump continues to talk about annexation. Donald Trump, first of all, just ignore any of that shit that Donald Trump says. He's trying to get a rise out of you. He's just trying to get a rise out of the Canadians. He's trying to get a rise out of the liberals here in America. Just ignore his stupid bullshit. He's an idiot. Donald Trump's an idiot. Don't let him get under your skin. Anthony Reminiak says the Bears one winning season in the last 7. Yeah. But tonight, we root for the Bears, except for MJ Daniel. Oh, there's MJ. Speaking of the devil. So MJ Daniel, would you take a paper cut for the Rams? No, because I hate paper cuts. Paper cuts give me the creeps. Just the thought of it. And whenever I get one, it sends shivers up into my body to get a paper cut. Ugh. Even though it's very minor usually, right? I mean, I've never had one where I've never needed any hospitalization. I never had to get stitches. It's very, very, a very fine little cut. There have been a few times where I probably had to put a Band-Aid on it or something. But usually, you don't. But it's the creepiest thing. It just gives me the creeps. It gives me is it the willies? Is that what it is? No, I don't know. It gives me the chills. I don't want to think about a paper cut. So no. Answer is no. Why would I have to do that? Anyhow, MJ, tonight, go Bears. I'm sorry, MJ. I know you probably hate me, but I'm rooting for the Bears. Tonight, anyhow. MJ Daniel says, Viking fan, and I wouldn't take a bullet for them. Oh, MJ, wait. MJ, okay, I'm getting my MJs. MJ Daniel is the Seahawk fan. So MJ McCall, look at there. We got 2 MJs. Look at there. One's a Seahawk fan, and the other one's a Vikings fan. Vikings fan, and I wouldn't take a bullet for them. Vikings doing pretty well this year. They've kind of slumped a little bit. They did win last week, right? But they kind of went through a little losing streak there. But they should be okay. Ready to go for the playoffs, I think. Aaron West, 85 Bears. Yep, 85 Bears. That was the Meg Ditka, the whole the fridge. And of course, I'm blanking on names. The greatest running back, one of the greatest running backs in history. The late great, he died. I can't remember his name now. See, that's scary. I'm getting right there. I'm getting Trump brain. Hey guys, so let me check real quick. Let's just see. I don't know if Hal happens to be coming on or not. Why do I not even see Hal in my list of pages? Usually he's right on the top, or close to the top. Now I don't even see him. Did Hal delete his YouTube account? Where is he? Where is he? Get out of here, Bear! Get out of here! Bear! I can't find Hal. Where's Hal? Oh my God. There's Hal. Yeah, Hal's got nothing going on. I think he's off today. But you know how sometimes we'll keep checking over the next 10 or 15 minutes because he's kind of like me when he's fashionably late. So we'll see. Well, we'll keep an eye out. If Hal comes on, then we'll send everybody over there. If he's not, I have a feeling he's not going to be on today. And if he's not, then I guess we can hang out for some more if you guys want to to Hangout. A little bit more. Let's see. We got Chris Doug. Our community is growing, so YouTube better get it together. Yeah, YouTube. Come on. Minnie Nitro says, MJ Daniel, that's a good foam bricks to throw at the TV. Yeah, I remember they would sell those. Yeah. Jojo Mojo Jojo, my favorite name on the internet, says, hey, John, and everyone, hope you're all well. I hope you're well as well. Paula says, Hockey Talk, Wayne Gretzky is hanging out with FDJT, First Lady Donna J. Trump at Mar-a-Lago. What a Trump. Well, I guess we're seeing, we're going to be seeing that. Like Stallone hanging out and saying he's the greatest president since George Washington or whatever. It makes me kind of laugh. And it just makes me, the takeaway from that, as far as like Stallone, okay, that gives me one less thing on my list I have to watch now. Because fuck him. Fuck Stallone. Fuck Rocky. Fuck Rambo. All these movies that we loved over the years. Fuck it. You're going to piss it all away because you're going to align yourself with the fucking worst president in the history. And then you have the gall to call him like the same as George Washington or as good as George Washington, whatever the fuck that quote was. So fuck you, Stallone. Let's go down our list of fuck yous. Fuck you, The Rock. The Rock has said good things about Trump, so fuck you, Rock. Who else? Now, Gretzky. Fuck you, Gretzky. Fuck him. Fuck him. I don't need him. If you're going to align yourself with Trump and be his buddy and kiss up to him and kiss his ass, then fuck you. Fuck you. I don't need you. I don't need to promote your goods. I don't need to promote your movies. I don't need to promote your sports, whatever you're involved with. Fuck you. Fuck you, Wayne Gretzky. Fuck you, Stallone. Go fuck yourself. I'm not going to watch. I just now decided I am not going to watch season 3 of Tulsa King when it comes out next year. Fuck you. Unless you do a major turnaround or something. Not just sorry I'm not yelling. Carolyn Phelps, the sound comes through the car speakers now, and we like taking our dog. Oh, for the drive-in, yes. Yeah, you can get really nice, like if you have a nice stereo in your car, and usually there's like a FM frequency that they'll tell you to go to, and yeah, you can get some great sound in your car, and yeah, and the dogs are there. You don't have to worry about leaving the dogs at home or whatever. So yeah, so if you have going back to the drive-in theater, if you have one, and you want it to stay in business, then go to it. Hopefully, and encourage others to support it. Bobby Hansen's here. Bobby says a lot of babies were made at drive-ins in my day. Yeah. Oh yeah. I gave it a shot a few times. Chris Doug says, I saw the original Escape from New York with Kurt Russell at the drive-in in Paramus, New Jersey. It's long gone. Yeah, a lot of the drive-ins are gone. They're long gone. But that's why I say if you see one, and maybe support it. Steven Sayers says, drive-in movies every Saturday night, high school summers, and Easy Rider. Yeah, we saw a lot of movies. Like when I was a kid going with my folks, and then when I was older and in high school, we had the drive-in all the way, I think through the 80s, and then finally it went out of business or something. Non-useful says the Twin, Independence, Missouri's largest drive-in with space for more than 1,400 cars. Wow. Mindy Nitro says if Gretzky is a Trumper, I lost all respect. Me too, Mindy. Absolutely. Josh, I'm rooting for lightning strikes. Hey, Seattle Susie Q says born and bred New Yorker, ABC, anyone but the Cowboys. Seattle Susie Q, thanks for being here, by the way. Good to see you. Like I said, this is usually a House Sparks pre-show hangout. But I don't know if Hal's going to be on today, so if he's not, we'll just hang out for another hour or so. And there's new people like Seattle Susie Q. I don't know if I've seen you before, so maybe you're new to the show, and you might find that this is kind of a fun place to hang out. I hope you'll find that. David in Grand Prairie, Texas is here. Says, I think that's also Bob LeBlanc. David in Grand Prairie, Texas says, move that Xmas tree a little closer to the fire. Yeah. Right. And look at the present. There's a present right there, too. Don't worry. I sprayed everything with fire-resistant spray stuff. Josh says, TJ is correct 100%. I don't know what you're referring to, but I wholeheartedly agree. I am 100% correct about everything. Josh just got a paper cut yesterday, by the way. Yeah, heebie-jeebies. Yeah, Aaron, it gives me the heebie-jeebies. Exactly. Let's see. We got Steve Sayers met Bart Starr. He seemed like he was probably a really nice guy. I bet he was a Republican as fuck, but he seemed like a really nice guy. I shouldn't just assume. Michael McAndrews is here. Where's Hal? Hey, Michael, I don't know. I checked earlier to see if he was going to go on. I've been trying to get some confirmation from Discord and around, and I haven't heard anybody. And I don't remember the last thing Hal said, but I don't see him on. So I have a feeling that he's still enjoying his holiday. So good for him. That's like I said, if he doesn't come on, we'll just hang out here for a little bit, if you don't mind. If you don't mind, we'll just hang out here in my laboratory. In my laboratory. Yes. We'll hang out in my laboratory. Chris Duck says no Hal tonight. Yeah, I don't think he is. I wasn't sure. I really wasn't sure. MJ McCall says, I spit on Lynn Swan because he robbed my guys. Yeah, Lynn Swan and John Stallworth, they killed us, the Rams, in that Super Bowl 19 or whatever it was. MJ Daniel says, while you're at it, why don't you give me a nice paper cut and pour lemon juice on it, Princess Bride? The Soulcraft Super Bowl Shuffle. Yeah, I remember that. With the Bears. Aaron West, his channel is there. Yeah, I eventually found the channel. For some reason, it was at the bottom, towards the bottom of my list, and usually it's at the top. So I think it's because he hasn't posted anything in a while, and so it put his thing at the bottom of my list there. Anthony Reminiak, I see no notifications for Hal. Andrew Petrie, I ditched Hal up in the Yukon. Mini Nitrous, I remember the fridge. Josh, I guess I could Google it. I'm not sure what we were. I'm not sure if we were. Oh, about the Hatch Act. Was it about the Hatch Act? Josh says, I forget. Is it the Hatch Act or the Logan Act that says you can't negotiate international diplomacy unless in office? I believe that would be the Logan Act. I got a 50-50 chance of being right. I'm going with the Logan Act on that one. Let's see. Paula says Stallone was never right in the head as far as I'm concerned. I think he took one too many punches. Took one too many punches. Michael Mann dumped Trump. Josh says, it's the Logan Act I was thinking of, according to Google. So I was right. Look at there. I was right. Mindy Nitrous says, no something, the rogue. I don't know what that's about. Bruce says, I've been listening to Hal since 2010, mostly Saturday shows. Yeah, I remember listening to Hal a few times on the Saturday shows way back, probably in 2010. And also, way back around that time, he was a regular on Stephanie Miller, like, I guess it was Hump Days with Hal. And they did that for a long time. And then I think they kind of had a falling out or something, and he wasn't on for a long time. And then I think a couple years ago, they kind of patched things back up, worked things back out. But he's not really like a regular, if you notice. I mean, he's kind of, randomly makes appearances on Stephanie. But for a long time back, around the 2010s, he was pretty much a regular every Wednesday, at least. Kind of like how they do Frangela now and on Fridays with Frangela and stuff like that. They would do hump days with Hal. Anthony Ruminiak says the big corporations are donating to Vice President Trump's inauguration day. It makes me cringe. They are all cowards. I'm boycotting the inauguration, and we should just boycott all those companies that are doing that. Let's just boycott the fuck out of them. Mini Nitrous says, like roller rinks, not many around. Yeah, roller rinks, that's one that didn't stick around. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Hey, everybody. Hey, Daniel Berry. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. How's it going with you? Bruce says, should be incarceration instead of inauguration. Exactly, Bruce. Yeah, here's what they should do. When he goes up there to put his hand on the Bible, they should just slap cuffs on him and perp walk his ass over to the jail. Hey, there's Fancy. Hey, good to see Fancy. Thanks for being here and joining us. Fancy says, the first time I went to the drive-in, we saw The Exorcist in an old station wagon with like 15 people crammed in. Yeah, those were the days, huh? You can just load the car up. Because a lot of times they just charge per car or something. I think now they charge per person, but I'm pretty sure back in the old days, it was just like per car. And that's why people would just cram as many people as they could into a car. Grant Johnson's here. He says, so Gretzky is a flat earther. Hey, Grant Johnson, by the way, don't think I've seen you in here before, so thanks for hanging out with us in the old Trucker John live stream, Trucker's Lounge. There's Captain Ivan, 610. Hey, Trucker John, new listener to your show. Hey, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for hanging out with us. Usually what we do is we hang out for Hal, but I believe Hal's not on today, so we're just going to hang out without Hal. But thanks for being here. I hope you like, and I hope you subscribe to the show, and I hope you hit that notification button and come on back, because we do like 4 or 5 shows a week. We're Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So I do 1, 2, 3, 4. I do 4 shows. I guess that's 4. Is that all I do? Seems like I do more. But Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Thursdays I do a pre-show, House Sparks pre-show, which is what this usually is, but I think Hal's off today. And then Saturday we do a House Sparks after show hangout. So there you go. David in Grand Prairie, Texas says, that Bob LeBlanc punk and me are close. Hi again. Shove another heart in there. MJ McCall, Billy, my older sister, took me and my younger sister to see The Exorcist at a drive-in. This is the second person with The Exorcist, and getting close to the growl and grab scene. Traumatized for life. Oh yes, the sweet memories of your older siblings taking you to The Exorcist. Yes. The Exorcist, if people don't remember, I mean, people were bailing out of the theaters for that, especially the pea soup scene or whatever. I didn't see it because I was too young. I mean, when that came out, I think I was 12 or 13. Had to be accompanied by an adult or whatever. My parents would not take me to it. I never did get in to see it. I guess there's ways you can get in, but I never did go see it. I didn't see The Exorcist until years later when it was shown on TV. I'm not even talking like Blockbuster or video rental. I'm talking about the NBC or whatever channel it was, probably NBC. They seemed like they would go after the big movies after they had their big theatrical run. And this is pre video rental. And then they would make a big deal out of the network premiere of The Godfather or Jaws. And I think they did it for The Exorcist too. I think that's the first time I saw it. It was on TV. So I guess it was edited down, but and then since then I've seen it, like on video. So I've seen the real unedited version. But at the time, in 1973 or whatever it was, I remember I read the book. I went and bought the book. I couldn't see the movie, so I went and bought the book at Grants. Did you guys have Grants? We had a Grants department store. This is like pre Kmart, pre Walmart. We had a Grants, and I think I bought The Exorcist there, and I'm like, okay, you guys aren't gonna let me see the movie. I'm gonna read the fucking book. The book was creepy too. The book was creepy. I gotta tell you. Anthony Remembriak says, I took so many girls to see The Exorcist because they would sit real close. I practically knew the dialogue to the movie. There you go. That's a thinking man for you. That's right. Josh says, this truly is my favorite chat. People I see across shows, I want to do beers and bocce. I think it's pronounced bocce. Or is it bocce? With everyone someday. That would be cool. Have a big Sugar John beer and bocce meeting. I would love that. I would even go. Minus Kevin Anderson says, why? Thank you, Fancy. I try to do my best. Fancy says, I was so young, I should not have been there. At the Exorcist movie. Melissa Brzezinski says, Nosferatu yesterday. Saw Nosferatu yesterday at the theater. It was packed, and it was actually pretty good movie, spooky. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that's on. I saw trailers for that. That looks interesting. Another, vampire movie going back to like the original, Nosferatu. Non-useful. Hal's phone is on. Been verified. His phone's not on. I think he meant show. Maybe I think he meant show. Hal's show's not on. Okay, so non-useful is saying that has been verified. No Hal Sparks today. Yeah, and I'm on his channel, and I don't see anything there. So thank you, non-useful, for that update on that. So if you guys don't mind, we can hang out for another, 45 minutes or so. If you guys want, let me know in the chat if you want to hang out some more. And we'll hang out. Hey, there's Fancy with a gifted membership. Thank you so much. Non-useful did one. I'm scrolling back up. Captain Ivan 610. Hey, Trucker John, new listener, love the show. Thank you, Captain Ivan. Thank you so much for being here. Good to see you. Hope you like, subscribe, and share. Basically, the show is I read the chat back to you. But sometimes I'll go off on a tangent if someone leads me down a certain way, a certain dark path, and I will go off on a tangent. But thanks for being here, Captain Ivan 610. Michael McAndrews, I can't remember what I saw at the drive-ins. I saw a bunch of stuff. I remember seeing Billy Jack, one of my favorite all-time movies. MJ McCall, favorite football movie. Mine is The Replacements. Favorite football movie. I don't know. I have to think about that one. Hey, non-useful. There's that gifted membership from non-useful. Thank you so much, non-useful. I appreciate you. And Myra Little was the recipient of that. So thank you so much, non-useful. Help support the show. It's always appreciated. And we've got Fancy with the gifted membership, and Derek Weber got that one. So thank you, Fancy. I appreciate you so much for doing that. Help the show. I still don't have my chat filter. Nothing is working on the chat filter so far. I don't know why. And I don't know what happened with the goal. I'm afraid to start another goal. Well, all the colors. I'll try it again. And we'll see if that will get the chat filter to work. All right, so we got a super chat goal of 5. And if it works, I'll give you a yippee. Or maybe 2 yippies. A yippee hippie. We'll be yippee hippies. And we'll see if that will bring on the chat filter. So I can go from top messages to all messages. Non-useful says, Kellyanne Krusty Conway broke the Hatch Act daily when she worked as an alternative facts guru. Yeah, Logan Act is you can't act as like an like you can't act on official business in the name of the United States if you are not there on official business. If you are not an official part of the government or department, you can't just go there and start negotiating on stuff on when you have no business doing so. And then the Hatch Act, isn't that the one where? Oh, there's a lot to the Hatch Act. Was that the one about abortion funding or something? I don't know. I'm sure someone in the chat will explain that. NJ McCall says, "How can anyone who hasn't spent the last decade plus in a hyperbaric chamber can consider Trump and good in the same sentence? As is anything but an oxymoron?" Well, unfortunately, I think a lot of the voters. It could be said that maybe that is where they spend all their time. I don't know. In the hyperbaric chamber, I don't know. Because I was listening to on the Cliff Schecter show today. I was watching that, and someone brought up they were talking about the voters and why they voted for Trump, or how could they vote for Trump, and all this kind of stuff, and that some people blamed on like Kamala Harris not running in the primary, on the top of the ticket. And my first response was, "Oh, so that's the excuse? She wasn't on the primary, as the top ticket, so you're going to vote for a rapist felon." That makes sense. But, like I've said earlier, a lot of people, I don't even think they know anything about the E. Jean Carroll case. They don't know anything about the felony case. People are that uninformed. Hey, there's Tim Farrell. Good to see Tim, one of our resident Tims. Michael McAndrew says, "Hey, anyone remember if anyone is in the trunk? Where's James? Things we said at the drive-in, right? Yeah, you'd smuggle people in the trunk." MJ Daniel, Alien was worse. Alien was really scary. I mean, that spoiler alert, when there's the part where the monster jumps out of the guy's chest. There were some movies I can remember getting jump scares or whatever you call it. Alien was one of those, and I was old enough to go to the theater that time. Mom. When Alien came out, I think I was in high school or something. I don't know. Or maybe was I out of high school? I don't know. Fancy. I was like 5. Andrew Petrie, The Evil Dead freaked me out. Yeah, that one's it's so campy that it's kind of hard to get too scared on it, but it is really pretty brutal and can be pretty gruesome for sure. Let's see. Jolie says, Andrew Petrie, I really did that with my friends. My car had a trunk, that opened in the back. Yeah, I remember. I remember. I'm trying to think if I ever did that. Put people in the trunk, but I definitely remember seeing cars go to the ticket booth, pay for the ticket or whatever, drive inside, go park, and then they go open the trunk, and a bunch of people come out of it. I definitely saw that happening. Billy Kid 73. People freaked out more from Exorcist than Amityville Horror. Yeah, the Exorcist. I mean, that was in newspaper stories and TV. On the TV news about people actually getting sick. Seeing all the puke, and then that would make people puke. And then people running out. It was a thing. It was a big story. That maybe over time has gotten forgotten, or if you weren't around and you weren't alive then, it might be hard to kind of imagine that. But yeah, MJ Daniel, books are always more intense. Vicky, I watched Alien in the hospital after giving birth. Get too close to home. Yeah, that I don't know if you'd want to watch that. Yeah, after giving birth. Michael McAndrews says when I was a little kid, people were still freaked out about the War of the Worlds, and that's the thing that I wasn't around when that happened originally, right? When Orson Welles did that over the radio, and that's a thing that we have to see that be recreated through movies and stuff. Terrence Buns is here. Terrence says, anticipation of seeing the movie from what other people would tell you on cable, as well as The Omen, like elevator wire cable scene, gruesome. Yeah, the Omen, that was a big one too. Where had that buzz that everyone was talking about. Tim Farrell says The Exorcist was revolutionary, horrifying without sudden jumpy scenes, prolonged and steady horror. They really don't make them like that anymore. Yeah, it was very creepy. And I didn't see it in the theater. I don't know if I ever saw that movie in the theater, come to think of it. Chris Doug, A Clockwork Orange really freaked me out and my friends out. We thought we were tough and cool, but it seriously disturbed us. We were probably too young to understand it. That was a controversial movie, too. Yeah. That was controversial. Fancy said the new scenes they added a few years back were so scary. Michael McAndrews says, I don't know how girls do it. Giving birth looks difficult to me. Yeah, a little bit. You think? Midas Kevin Anderson says, Fancy, my favorite part was that Star Wars rip. What do I do, Father? I've never done this. Use the Force, Luke. MJ McCall, The Shining was like that too. Yeah. Jolie says, The Exorcist traumatized me. I still can't watch it. Or any possession movie. Michael McAndrews says, let's hang out. So I guess we're going to hang out for a bit. Because Hal is off. So, yeah. Trucker John's here. Hang out with Trucker John today. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. There might be some folks that they're used to seeing Hal Sparks and they got nowhere to go. Let's give them some place to go. So hit that share button. Share it out to your socials. Let them know that Trucker John's on right now. And we can hang. Non-Usual says The Poseidon Adventure was the highest grossing film of 1973 at drive-ins, earning $125 million. And that's a lot of money in 1973. That's like a bajillion gajillity today, in today's dollar. Josh says, I remember piling with a bunch of kids in a pickup truck to go see the first Indiana Jones movie. And I remember being way stoned seeing Jurassic Park with sober people. That's funny. Billy Kid says, I'm in. I guess it's back when I was asking if we're going to hang out. So Billy the Kid's going to hang out with us. So that's cool. Paula says, of course, John. Love the chat room. Thank you, Paula. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, we'll hang out for a bit. For a bit more. MJ McCall says, I had to watch it stoned before I could shake the creeps off The Exorcist. Oof. That was, like I said, I read the book. And then I saw the movie like years later. And still, it was creepy and scary. Anthony Rememniak, I'm staying here. I've got no place else to go. Besides, I like it here. Well, that's good. Yeah, it's good that it's not that you have no place to go, but you also, it's nice that you also like it. So. Robert Perez says, ha ha ha, you guys don't know what scared is until you get married to The Exorcist. David in Grand Prairie, Texas says, hang out till the Saturday show. Come on, yeah. Yeah, we'll do a 48-hour marathon or whatever. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, there was the goal. It looks like we got one, but it didn't turn on the chat filter. So I guess my little trick isn't working. It's weird. Sometimes that does it, and sometimes it doesn't. So I don't know. Yakety Smack, registered agent. Yeah, we were talking about Loganat. Yeah, you can't just go there on your own willy-nilly and negotiate deals on behalf of the United States. You have to be a registered agent or have some official capacity. So there's Pam J with a $2 super chat. Says I'm in. Thank you, and Pam J. I'm sorry for this took me so long to get down to it, but yippee! It's a Pam J. Thank you so much. Thanks for that super sticker or super chat. I guess that's a super chat. And just look at that, we got two. I do see another one popped up. I'll scroll down there in a bit. But thank you, Pam J. I do appreciate you. I'm still no chat filter though. NJ McCall says BS. I don't know what that was about, but I don't know. So I can't respond to that. Minus Kevin says Robert Perez. I am kind of needle dropping a little bit. I'm trying to get down through the chat here. So some of this stuff is kind of mid thread or whatever. Minus Kevin says Robert Perez. One thing, don't piss them off by saying "Holy shit." What did you say? Yeah, don't do that. Anthony Reminiak says the music in the last 15 minutes of Alien just drove the scene to a frenzy. Has anybody seen the new Gladiator movie? Speaking of Alien, which was Ridley Scott, right? Ridley Scott made Alien, and he also made Gladiator. I think he may have just produced this one. The next one, I don't think he directed it or anything. But did anyone see the new Gladiator movie? I haven't seen it, but it looked kind of good. If you like the first one, might want to check out the second one. Mindy Nitrous, did you see all the cyber trucks vandalized? Was that a YouTube video? I didn't see that. Vicky says so many persons claim to have voted for Trump because he speaks his mind. So I guess calling them assholes won't bother them. Yeah, you're speaking your mind, I'm just speaking my mind. Myra Little says, I will never get over Trump winning, nor Keir Starmer, a red Tory. Just wish Scotland could get their freedom from them robbing Gits, laughing out loud. Marie Jane Getros here. Hey, Marie, good to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit. Marie says, Amityville Horror was a scary-ass book. Slept with the lights on the night after I finished it. Or on the night I finished it. I never read the book. I don't think. No, I don't think I read that book. But the movie was pretty weird. Pretty scary. Pam J says, I don't think Amityville Horror was all that great. A Nightmare on Elm Street first time was the best. Oh, yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger. Yeah. That was pretty scary one. There is the chat filter. Mike McAndrews with a $10 super chat. That turned on the chat filter. So there now. Look, now I can go to all messages. Thank you, Michael. Thank you so much. Let me go back though to where I was at. Yeah, we've got Non-Useful with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Non-Useful. Appreciate that so much. Thanks for helping out the show. Fancy says, "Well, cheer up yours here with friends now." So I've just dropped the needle on. I'm just dropping the needle on some of these chats here while I try to go down to see Michael's chat there. Suzanne Forresepi is here. Fancy, some people on the blue channel were rude to me just now. Yeah, come on over here, Suzanne. We're not going to be rude to you. I hope not. Nobody would be rude. Everyone, welcome Suzanne, and let's hang out. Let's hang out and have a good time. Yeah, what's the blue channel? I don't know. I don't know that one either, but don't go there. They sound mean. Come over here. Send everyone over here, Suzanne. Why does Kevin says, Fancy, don't like religious horror. Well, guess stigma is out then. Is it stigmata? Bruce, yeah, Bruce, do you like movies about gladiators? Timmy, or whatever it was. Josh, I don't watch much unless my wife makes me. Aaron West says, speaking of Alien, my sibling is currently starring in The Tempest in London alongside Sigourney Weaver. Nice. She seems like an awesome lady, Sigourney Weaver. Very good actress. Fancy says, this is the way of the world, Suzanne. Just shake it off. Yeah. Shake it off. Shake it off. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. Billy Kid 73 says they voted for him. I guess we're talking about Trump. Because they're racist, homophobic, afraid of women in power. They couldn't care less of any crimes he did. They think he's one of them. Well, I hear when they found out he's not. Yeah, for a lot of them, yeah, that's the case. Trump's their guy because he believes in all that crazy ass shit they do. There's Michael McAndrews. Life goes on even after a scary movie. Thank you, Mike, for the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And that did activate my chat filter, but now the chat filter's off. But I'm on all messages. But now I can't go back or anything. I can't go check out the fan because here's how the chat filter works. It has top messages, all messages, and then if you're doing a live stream, and if there's any fan funding, there's also another thing where you can click on fan funding. Now I can't do that because the chat filter has gone away. But now I'm locked in to all messages. Anyhow, once again, thanks, Michael, for that. Marsha says, hi, Trucker John. Just been hanging out listening to the horror movies conversation. After Exorcist, that was it for me. That did it for you, huh? After that, it's like, nope, no more horror movies. Yeah, I hear you. James Williams says, Beetlejuice is coming to Canada. I wonder what our elected reps are going to do when the lights go down. Oh, you mean Beetlejuice the musical? The one that Bobert went to? And she thought it was a movie about shifting gears or something. I don't know. Billy Kid says, ever been in a Turkish prison? Billy Kid, a big fan of the movie Airplane, apparently. Midas Kevin Anderson says, Chris Doug, I've been to Maine. Suzanne says, Andrew, thanks, Andrew and Fancy. MJ McCall, is Keanu doing Expendable 5? I have no idea. Is there an Expendable 5? I watched the first couple of those and then that was it. It got really kind of ridiculous. I mean, it was I'm just trying to look at my TV. Yeah, I think it's the Suffragettes is over. I think it just automatically went to. I've been watching a lot of those, kind of with the same background I have here, but with it plays the Christmas music. That's what's on now on my TV. Marsha's here says, I love Stephen King books. The movies are so different from the books. Yeah, they are, because I've read a lot of Stephen King and I've seen a lot of the movies and they're different. And a lot of times people criticize it, but movies are usually different unless they take the approach of, let's say, Harry Potter, which I think were pretty loyal to the books, even though I didn't read any of the books. My son read all the books. And I remember I started reading the first one just for myself. My son was reading them. And then I thought, well, since we have this collection of Harry Potter books, I'll give it a try. And I just found the writing to just be not up to my standards. Apparently, I couldn't get past the first few chapters of the first book, and I was just like, "This is garbage." But I had already seen the movies, so maybe the movies were just done so well that I thought the books, because usually the books are better. I think in most cases, a good book by a good author is usually good, even if the movie's good. The books are usually better. But um, Harry Potter, at least the very first book and the first chapter, I couldn't get past that. I don't even think I finished the first chapter. I just thought this is fucking horrible. So I don't know. What do you guys think of Rowling? You like Rowling? You think she's any good of a writer? She's a fucking billionaire now. She fucking hit it big with that series, and the kids loved it. And maybe it was great writing. Maybe it's just written for kids, and maybe I'm not a kid, so maybe that was it. I don't know, but I maybe the other books got better, or if I'd stuck with the book later in that same book, maybe it would have gotten better. But I couldn't get past the first few pages or whatever, and I was just like, "Fuck this shit." So, anyhow, Progressively Independent says hello, everybody. Hello, Progressively Independent. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on by and hanging out with us for a little bit. WW is here. Thanks for being here, WW. Don't start any shit with Suzanne, please. Bob Carmody's here. Hey, Bob Carmody Ministry. Just throwing out band names, I guess. WW. Okay, I'm not going to read W if you're starting shit. I'm not going to read your shit if you're starting shit. Erica Cubs, $3 super chat. Yippee! There you go, Erica. Yippee! Thanks for that $3 super chat. I'll give you a heart and a like. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thanks for helping the show out, helping us out, helping us grow. Let's see. We got Terrence Bunce. Scanners movies in 1981 was scary. The line from actor Michael Ironside. Line in film. I'm gonna suck your brain dry. I just remember that, yeah, with the exploding heads, and I remember that was really gross. Fancy says, "What is this blue dot?" I don't know. Let's see. Midas Kevin says, "WW, she loves giving people a hard time." Marcia says, "Thank you to all you generous folks gifting memberships and donating to John. Wish I could too." Hey, Marcia, that's okay. Just you're here. I appreciate you being here and liking and you're chatting. That helps out a great deal too. Sharing the show, help hit the share button, share the show out, and that's a big help. Get our memberships up, get our subscriptions up. We're growing little by little. We're at 3,670 something subscribers. It seems like just yesterday we were at 3,660 something. So we're slowly but surely getting there, growing. I want to get that 100,000 subscriber plaque. I don't mean to keep bringing that up. Sounds like I'm obsessed. I may be a bit obsessed, but anyhow, just liking, subscribing, and sharing is a great thing, Marcia. So don't you feel bad if you can't donate monetarily, and just everyone does whatever they can do, and liking, subscribing, and sharing is a great way to help the show. MJ McCall, he doesn't believe in anything and will say anything. Talking about, I think, Trump. Vicky, they were probably trolls, or Vicky says they were probably trolls to Suzanne. WW, talking to Susie. Okay, I've been asleep. Just need to finish my drink and brush my teeth. Yeah, please, W. Don't come into the chat with a stinky mouth, please. Brush, gargle, whatever. Fancy says, "Uh-oh, my neighbors are tipsy and they're arguing in the driveway." Ugh. Yeah, that could be. Hope that doesn't get out of hand. But video it just in case it does get out of hand. It might be an interesting video. I'm bad. I'm horrible. I know I'm horrible because I would video it, and if they started fighting or starting doing something really crazy, I would probably post it, like the piece of shit that I am. WW, I got immune to horror flicks, laughed at The Exorcist. Oh, I laugh at the horror. I laugh at the Exorcist. I laugh at you. Ha ha, Exorcist. Ha ha. Try to scare me. Anthony Ruminiak says Chicago Bear games are like horror movies lately. Yeah. I can see that if you're a poor old Bear fan. I can see that. Andrew Peters says I snapped all my Ted Nugent records in half. Yeah, that's another one. I used to like Ted. I used to like Cat Scratch Fever before I knew that it was about him singing about, like a 14-year-old girl that he wanted to fuck when he was 30 or whatever. And before, of course, I knew that he was a fucking maggot. Yeah, that's another one. Let's see. Fancy says, I don't blame you, Andrew. Yeah, I don't blame you at all either. MJ McCall says, I keep seeing traders, but I think they're fan-made AI things. Oh, traders or trailers? WW, I thought the Elm Street Nightmare were insanely funny. All those, yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. Yeah, after a while, they do get, they are really, those are more campy, a little more campy, I think. Marsha says, Chris Doug, I read the books instead of the movies when it comes to horror stories. Josh says, if I donate $10, can we meet your neighbor's chicken? I haven't seen it in a while, so I don't know if the chicken is still with us, if you know what I mean. The day I did see it, it was a nice warm day, and they had it sunning. But I haven't seen it since. Um, MJ says she's a good storyteller. Like I said, I think we're talking about Rowling, J.K. Rowling. I like the Harry Potter movies when those came out. And I took my kids to see it. At first you're like, okay, this is a kid movie. Um, the books were really popular. All the kids, I think my son had already started reading them in school or whatever, or before the movie came out, and so we're all jazzed to go see the movie. And I'm just thinking, yeah, this is a kid movie. I'll take my kids to see it. But I sat there and I was like, this is fucking awesome. This is a great fucking movie. I mean, it's very well made. It's very, production value is great, and you really kind of got sucked into that world, that Harry Potter world, so I love the movies. And so yeah, from that point of view, I guess you could say she's a great storyteller because she made all those stories. But I don't know, there was just something about the writing that I didn't find it readable. And like I said, at that point I had already seen all the movies when I started reading this, or I think, or most of the whatever movies have been out. I think to that point, the first 4 or 5 movies maybe when I started reading it. So I don't know. I don't know, man. Non-useful says my aunt and uncle were married by the priest who performed The Exorcist that the movie was based on in North St. Louis County. Wow. How's that for a connection to a movie? Paula says Gone with the Wind is probably close to the book. I never read the book on that one, so. MJ McCall, I think we're talking about Rowling, but she's showing her backside as a human. Yeah, and she's come out and said some pretty bad things about LGBTQ plus community. I think, right? That's her downfall, I guess. Aaron West says, I thought JK was a great writer, but I'm over her because of her anti-trans crap. Right. And in all fairness or whatever, when I started reading that book, I don't think any of that had come out yet. So I don't think I was tainted by that when I started reading the book. Maybe it was just a bad day. Maybe I should pick up one of the books and read it again and start or whatever. But on this particular day, this was probably 10 years ago. I don't know. I was reading the book and I just thought it sucked. But like I said, maybe I'm just a bad judge of good writers. I've read Hemingway. I think he's pretty good, and J.K. Rowling is no Hemingway. So there, J.K. Rowling. Take that. You're no Hemingway. Let's see. WW with a chick here and a chick there. Susie and I have known each other longer than any of you. Well, that's good. That's good. MJ Daniel says Apocalypse trilogy, The Thing, Prince of Darkness, and In the Mouth of Madness. Yeah, and The Mouth of Madness, I think, was the book that Colonel Jessup or whatever was reading in his cave. Vicky, only one I've seen is A Blue Dot in Texas. MJ Daniel says books are more affecting because we create the visuals in our minds. Right, that's true. We have our own little theater of the mind there. Suzanne says, yes, indeed, Wes. Webb, since South Park's channel only had 100 viewers. You guys go way back. Frank Herbert's Dune was my favorite science fiction book, but when I saw the film, I was equally satisfied. Herbert said there was no way he could adapt the whole story. And I've never seen Dune. The ones that came out a long time ago with like Sting or somebody, and the ones that are the more current ones, I've never seen any of them. Everyone says they're great. At least these shows, these movies, they say they're great and they're wonderful. I haven't watched them, and I feel bad. I feel bad that I haven't watched Dune. It's probably on my list. I'll get to it in a few years, probably. Like I said, I'm just now in season 5 of The Blacklist on Netflix. That's on my Netflix watch list. So Dune is probably on there somewhere. Maybe not on Netflix, but wherever it's playing, Prime or whatever. It's on a watch list somewhere. I'll get to it. It might take 10 or 15 years, but damn it, I'm going to get to it. MJ Daniel, Clark Gable was the man. Well, he was a huge star. I mean, we made joke, and Clark Gable was the Clark Gable of the 30s and 40s. It didn't get any bigger than that. If you know what I mean. Marcia says, I also understand Susan Ferris, similar situation myself, and that's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I got to say about that. And Jenny, I do know what love is. I got to pee. Mama always told me life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. See, that's what happens when someone makes any type of a Forrest Gump reference. I just go off on this little Forrest Gump trance or something. I can't help it. I scrolled down. I'm just dropping, needle dropping. I have no idea what this is about. Fancy says, I saw all his filthy dildos, though. I have no idea what that's about. And I'm not sure if I want to know what that was about. WW says, I haven't destroyed any of my records on purpose. Truth be told, I never owned a Ted Nugent record. I listened to Ted Nugent on the radio, and I liked Ted Nugent. I don't think I had any Ted Nugent. trying to think now if I did or not, or if I had a cassette. Remember the cassettes? But I remember I listened to a lot of Nugent, and I had one of my friends that was a total Nugent fan, and he had all of his cassettes, probably most cassettes, because we would listen to it in the cars, right, and on the car stereos. Uh, I don't think I ever had any Nugent. I'm trying to remember if I had a Nugent album or not, because I was more into vinyl, but I did have a big cassette collection also. But I had a stereo. My dad got me in high school for Christmas. My parents got it for Christmas for me, where it was one of those fancy stereos where you could record your music off your records onto cassette. And so that's usually what I do. I'd buy vinyl and then record them onto cassettes. This is where I made the now infamous um, compilation tape. I did not make mixtapes, which I wish I would have, because it would have been much easier to write on that little tiny label on the cassette, the little plastic stickers they would give you. And I would write, instead of writing mixtape, which would have been the smart thing, I wrote compilation tape. That's a lot of words. That's a lot of letters. And I would put it in little tiny writing, and then I would try to get all the songs and who sang it, the artist, the name of the song, onto that little tiny sticker. And I would pretty much get all of them on there. I could write really tiny if I had to. That's what I would do. That's the kind of crazy kid I was. Anyhow, MJ says, I have not had any Nugent records or tapes around since the 80s. Oh, yeah. He hasn't had anything out since the 80s, I don't think. MJ McCall says, I don't do hack and slash. Midas Kevin says, Nightmare on Elm Street lines are funny. Bob Carmody, I have 3,000 LPs and 800 CDs. I'm a music head. Hey, Bob Carmody, that's a lot. I had a bunch of, I didn't have that many, but I had a lot of albums and a lot of CDs, and almost all of it got stolen. So it's a rather sore subject with me, and I don't like talking about it because it makes me sad. It makes me sad. Along with my fucking baseball card collection, which would have been worth, I don't know, tens of thousands of dollars, maybe more, I don't know. That all got stolen. See, I didn't want to talk about it. Depressing. Progressively Independent says the Chicago Bears are horrible this year, but I hope the hell they win tonight. Oh, wait, what time is it? Ooh, it's 5 o'clock. The game's going to be starting, huh? Doggone it, the game's going to be on. Josh, what dildos? Yeah, I saw that too. What dildos? Vicky says, I've never been able to watch all of Silence of the Lambs. Isn't that the one where she worries more about catching the guy than about getting the victim to safety? I don't know. When she was down in the hole, and then she tried to get the guy out or whatever. I don't know, but I remember that. I do remember that movie, but I don't know if I remember exactly what you're talking about. Billy Kid 73. It puts the lotion in the basket, right? Fancy says he did a live video of his room. I'm talking about. I guess it was about. Is that Nugent? And he had all his dildos lined up. Was that? Were we talking about Nuge? The Nuge? No, say it ain't so, Fancy. Say it ain't so. Chris Doug says, we lived one block from an old creepy farmer named Fred Krueger. He wrote a book called The Transparent People, claiming he was abducted by aliens. He should have just went all the way with it and just changed his name to Freddy. You know what I mean? Yeah, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Ain't all the best you ever seen. Roxanne says, the Bob Carmody, good evening. Bob Carmody, and happy holidays to you. MJ Daniel says, we have a movie release copy of Gone with the Wind that belonged to my grandparents. A movie release copy. Wow. That's a nice keepsake. WW laughing out loud. Subject I thought we were talking about birthing babies. I kind of skipped down in the chat, so might be a bit mid thread on some of those convos. MJ McCall says, same with Stallone, Kurt Russell, etc. I can't support people who are idiots or vile. Now, what's Kurt Russell done? I didn't know. Is he jumping on the Trump bandwagon? Because God damn it, I like me some Kurt Russell, but I'll fucking I'll abandon his ass too if he's going to be a Trumper. Marcia says I like comedic movies. I do. I like comedic movies too. Yeah. Midas Kevin Anderson says two of Freddie's best lines when he turned that lady into a roach and crushed the motel, saying, "You can check out, you can check in, but you can't check out." Then when he was with the porno nurse demon. Jolie reminding everyone that we have channel memberships, so you can become a member. We do have a lot of members, and that's a fun way to support the show. And we got super chats. You can also support the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing, or you can buy good old Trucker John a coffee at that link right there. It says buy me a coffee. Thank you, Jolie. Bob Carmody, I saw The Real Dude in 1985. Yeah, I never saw that one. I've never seen the new ones. MJ McCall, love Blacklist. Yeah, I like it. It's kind of interesting. I'm just now in season 5, and now it's where Reddington is like broke, and he's like rebuilding his thing. So that's kind of interesting. They've got him on that trajectory or whatever. Chris Doug says 1, 2, Freddy's here for you. 3, 4, better lock the door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, gonna stay up late. Robert Perez, I taught Hemingway to drink and fish. There you go. So you're the one. Paula's here, says it, Marcia, sorry, I was going to say, or was that someone else that said that I hate porn movies too? My apologies to you, my friend. Porn movies is a whole different thing. Those really aren't, to be confused with anything theatrical or whatever. Minus Kevin Anderson says, Paula, it was me from Nightmare on Elm Street 2. NJ Daniel says the 1984 Dune was more funny. The new ones are really good, and they will be making Dune Messiah next. I'm going to have to check it out because everyone says that they're good, or most people say they're good. Hey, there's Kimchi. Hi, love. Sorry, so late. It's all right, Kimchi. It's all right. We're here today. We're on a bit late because Hal Sparks is taking the day off. So we're going to be hanging out here a little bit longer. Not too much longer, though. But thanks for being here, Kimchi. Always good to see Kimchi in the chat as we hang on out amongst ourselves. Vicky says, thought Gone with the Wind was dreadful. All costumes like Titanic. It's an old movie. It's from 1938, I think, or something like that. I remember I saw it, I think other people have shared this experience where back in the 70s, I guess they had I don't know if it was re-released or whatever, but I remember we did a field trip. I think I was in junior high. So I was in probably 8th grade or something. And I think we had a field trip to the El Rancho Theater in Victorville, and to see Gone with the Wind. I guess they really wanted us to see Gone with the Wind. because it dealt with the Civil War. It was Civil War era, and it showed a little bit of the um, the pre-Civil War and then the Civil War and all that. The burning of Atlantic or whatever, or of Atlanta. Um, and I remember, as a eighth grader, I thought it was all right. It was kind of funny, some of the dialogue, like, frankly, Scarlet, I don't give a damn, or whatever. But then it got pretty intense at the end. I mean, the burning of that was that Atlanta or whatever? That was pretty intense stuff. And I'm thinking, wow, this, for an old movie, even then when I saw it, the movie was already like 40 years old or whatever. And, or almost, I guess not even 40, but almost like 35 or close to 40 years old. And just think now it's like, what, like 90 years old or something. But I thought it was okay. I didn't walk out going, wow, that was the greatest movie I ever saw in my life. But, I thought it was decent. I could see why it was like a classic or whatever. Josh says, I read a bunch of Dumas, and Tolkien, and Asimov, and Bukowski. I've read all those. Those are some of my favorites. Except for, well, Dumas, right, is Three Musketeers, whatever. Tolkien, of course, The Hobbit and everything. And Asimov, I, Robot, and that whole series that George Lucas stole from for Star Wars. And Bukowski, of course, great, great, when I was reading it, kind of going through hanging out at bars and just being depressed and just feeling kind of like fuck the world kind of thing. So yeah, but anyhow, it says I don't read much anymore unless I find relevant rabbit hole. Suzanne Forsepi says I only have my personal belongings so I can get up and go. There you go, travel light. There, be ready to go. Have your go bag and get going. Sultan Grease says Ted Nugent is draft dodger. Well, he certainly he like intentionally shit his pants. That's the story. When he went into the recruiters or whatever, so they would, like, I guess, say he's too crazy or some shit. I don't know. I don't know if that was true story or not, but and now he's acting all like, yeah, support the troops, and he's all rah, but he sure didn't want to go to Vietnam, which I don't blame him, actually. I didn't want to go to Vietnam either. And even though I was way too young at the time, but still, I was about 12 or 13 when the war was still going, and the war had been going on basically my entire life. And I thought, well, but when I'm 18, I'm going to be getting drafted, and I'm going to go over there, and it's only 5 years away or whatever, 5-6 years, but the war is going to keep going. It's never going to end. And I was already thinking, like, should I go to Canada or should I go to Mexico? And I pretty much decided on Canada just because they speak English. Not that there's not a lot of Mexicans that speak English, but you know what I mean. So I guess I was more like Ted Nugent than I would care to admit, and I just admitted it. But I did not want to go to Vietnam. I did not know the reason for Vietnam. I still don't know the reason. And I know we have veterans in this chat, and I don't mean to offend you. We have Vietnam veterans, or at least we have in the past in the chat. And I do not mean to offend anyone who served in any of our wars. But me, as being a kid, watching the news and seeing the body counts and trying to figure out, okay, which one are we? Are we north or south? Which one? What? What are we? Why are we dying over there? What are we doing? We're fighting to keep communists out of South Vietnam or what? I just didn't know why that was our fight. And we were losing people. A lot of people were coming back in body bags, and I did not see why we had to fight that war. And so I was ready to bolt. I mean, as a 13-year-old or whatever, I was like, I had made up my mind. I'm not getting drafted into this fucking stupid war. And again, I don't mean any disrespect to anyone who served. We have people, we have families who have family members that have gone to Vietnam. They're probably in this chat right now. that never came back, or that came back broken physically and mentally. And I do not mean to diminish your service to this country, but I'm just telling you, I did not want to go, and I did not see the reason for us being over there. I didn't think that we should be over there. If we wanted to be advisors, we want to give them, like we're doing with Ukraine, give them military weapons, give them the equipment, give them, if they need to be trained up, give them some training, whatever. But we did not need to send our soldiers into that a meat grinder or whatever. No, sir. And that's just my feeling. And I apologize if I've offended anyone who served in the Vietnam War, or who had family members who served. I apologize if my comments are offensive, but that's how I feel. And I felt that way then, and I feel that way now. Just saying. Michael McAndrews, did you do another $10 super chat? Thank you so much. Wishing you good luck, Suzanne. So good luck. Good luck, Suzanne. I've been kind of skipping in the chat, so I don't know exactly what's going on with Suzanne, but apparently she travels light, so she's ready to go. Yeah, just travel with one backpack, or maybe one good roller suitcase and a backpack, and then. But anyhow, thanks, Michael. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate you. Jerry Hazelton's here, says, burned my TED albums after he complained about too many Mexicans walking around in LA, 1991, way back then. So you're really ahead of the curve. You found out what a dirtbag he was way ahead of most of us, I think. Suzanne says, smash the like button, please. Yes, good reminder. That's a good reminder. Hit that like button. We've got 166 likes, so that's pretty good. That's more than usual, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out and doing all that. We got Melissa Brzezinski says, I don't think Goldie Hawn would allow him to like Donald Trump. Yeah, like I said, I started saying, what did Kurt do? I haven't heard any comments about Kurt, so I don't know. Because I've always liked him. Fancy with a gifting, another gifted membership. Thank you so much, Fancy. I appreciate you for doing that. Thank you so much. And it looks like we got Bobby C. Bobby C got that one. So thank you so much. On behalf of Bobby C, I thank you, Fancy. Anthony Ruminiak says, I read the entire Martian series of Edgar Rice Burroughs in one summer when I was in 6th grade. Sorry, I didn't keep the books. I remember reading Edgar Rice Burroughs, somewhere in school. It wasn't the Martian series. Probably, probably Voyage to the Bottom of the Earth or whatever it was. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. All right, I'm skipping on down in the chat. Yakety Smack says, Adam Carolla, cringy. Yeah. I thought Adam was funny, like when he was doing his podcast in the early days. But he's just really one of those typical kind of right-wingers that for a while you could I gave him a pass. This is way before Trump, but now he's just kind of all in with that. So, I'm skipped down. I don't know what's going on. If there's some sort of drama going on, guys, I don't know. Suzanne says, I'm real. I talked to Kimchi and Adam West and Andrea. I know you're real. I don't know. Is someone in the chat saying you're not real? Suzanne's real. Okay, guys. MJ McCall, it's Gone with the Wind, sci-fi, Dune. It's epic. Like I said, it's on my list. I'll get to it when I get to it. Anthony Rimniak, I was in Vietnam 69 through 71. Wow. Well, like I said, Anthony, thank you for your service. I can only imagine what it was like to be there. I was a little kid, 69 through 71. I was 8, and I turned 11 in 71. I turned 9 in 69. But I remember the Vietnam War. I remember all the reports on the news, and it just seemed horrific. WW says war is bad anytime, anywhere. Yeah, absolutely. So if I express that I didn't like a war or whatever, I mean I don't like any war, but I just don't want any veterans that served to think that I'm, spitting on them, metaphorically or whatever. I'm not. You know, I can only give you my viewpoint, from where I saw it as a 9-year-old through 11-year-old when you were there. Um, it just seemed like a hell. Like it just seemed, that old expression, war is hell. And just seeing, I mean, I remember they used to show on the nightly news. They would show like war footage on the Walter Cronkite CBS News or CBS News with Walter Cronkite. I mean, they showed a lot more then than they show now. And then we had people in our hometowns coming home in body bags. We saw the body bags. We saw that. And we saw the families and how they were affected. And I remember as a 9 and 10, 11-year-old seeing that and just thinking, my God, when is this going to end? When will this fucking war end? Because it had been going on, like I said, pretty much my whole lifetime, at least where I can remember shit. When I was 4 or 5 years old, I started hearing about the Vietnam War. So, Anthony Ruminiak, not a slight on you at all. You did what was asked of you, So, anyhow, Progressive Independent says, "What are your plans for New Year's, John?" I'm just gonna, you know what? I'll probably do a live stream. I was thinking about just doing maybe I'll do a live stream. We can, because I'm not gonna go out. I'm not gonna go party. I'm not gonna go drink. Maybe I'll get some champagne or some beers here at the house, and I'm just gonna sit here. Maybe I'll just live stream if you guys want to do that. Let me know if you guys are interested in that, because I believe that New Year's Eve is a Tuesday, so I usually do a morning show. I guess we'll find out more. I'll do the morning show, and then I might come on that night and just do. Maybe we'll live stream a little New Year's Eve get together. I don't know. But if you guys are interested in that, let me know. I'll probably ask. I'm going to do a Saturday show and a Tuesday morning show. I'll ask again. And if there's some people that want to hang out on the live stream, we might do that. I don't know. James Williams says actors are actors, not academics, and very few heroes are scientists. They assume characters and writers describes why anyone thinks their personal political opinions are more relevant is disturbing. Anthony Ruminiak, sometimes I still take double looks at Asian people at times. WW Loving Out James Williams, some actors are smarter than others. I would vote for Tom Hanks. For president? I like Tom Hanks. I don't think they should just jump into running for president, though. I mean, at least Reagan was governor of California for a while. I'm not a Reagan fan, but I mean, I'm just saying, like Trump, he never did shit. He just went right to running for president, and just because of his name recognition, and with a lot of help from Russia, a lot of help from mainstream media, a lot of help from right-wing propaganda, that's how we got stuck with his ass. Oh, okay. Is Hal on now? Okay, apparently Hal is on. So guys, there's the link. Aaron put that in there. If you guys go over to Hal, give me a shout out. Let's do a Trucker John convoy. And we'll do that. Let's see. Yeah, Hal's on. I see him. So I'm going to go ahead and end the show. And you lovely folks, go over there to Hal Sparks and tell him that Trucker John sent you. That would be great if you guys could do that for me. All right. Thanks, Aaron, for that update. Thank you, Jolie, for being here. Thank you, Aaron, for all of that. Thank you guys so much. Real quick thank you to Michael McAndrews. We got the super chats. Oh my, I'm gonna forget. We had a whole bunch of super chats. Oh my gosh, was it Tamara and non-useful? Thanks, Fancy, for uh, the gifting. Everyone that did that. Thanks everyone for liking, subscribing, sharing. You guys are awesome. I'll be back on Saturday for a House Parks post show hangout on Saturday. We'll talk some more about everything, and we'll talk about maybe a New Year's Eve hangout if you guys want to do that. And so awesome, Hal's on. That's great. So this is good. I got to hang out with you guys, and we had a bunch of new people come in. Now we can all go over to Hal. So it works out. So this wasn't a lie. This was a House Parks pre-show hangout after all. All right, guys, say hi to Hal for me. I'll be over there in a little bit. But before you go to Hal, and before you go over there and give Jugger John a shout out in his chat room, here's some words of wisdom. All right, get ready for this. Words of wisdom. As we go through life, just write this down. Here they are. This is gold. There's the gold. Pen and pencil time. Okay, as we wind on down the road.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid, but doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but If we did, I'd be on the tip. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant. But I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should've stopped a truck driving. Who am I trying to kid? At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skin. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kick. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream.